I made myself some hot chocolate.
I just cracked a cold one of brisk.
Love a cold brisk with the boys.
I have great news for you. The real fuel temperature is not a negative number.
Whoa.
This is big, you guys.
Whoa.
Guess what it is?
1. We're at real fuel 8.
God, what I would give for a real fuel of 8.
Welcome to MotoMouths, the podcast for MotoGP, motorsports, and more. I'm your host, Zoe, and it's January.
I'm your other host, also named Zoe, and it is January.
It's still January.
Okay, yeah.
It feels like it will never not be January.
Oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down now. Yes, I'm hearing you.
It's January in both directions. It's January all the way down.
It's January all the way down. Okay, John Green. Should we just jump into it? Because there is some juicy stuff to talk about today.
Can we start with talking about Jorge Martin for 2 minutes at the top of the pod every pod?
I knew you were going to say that, because guess what we're going to do?
Talk about Jorge Martin for 2 minutes at the top of the pod every pod?
Yeah, he's pissing me off, bro.
The season hasn't even started yet.
Season has not even started yet, and Jorge Martin is on my fucking nerves.
Already, it's so over for Jorge Martin.
Jorge Martin in the last 12 months, because remember his first accident was during testing.
Yes.
So we are now full circle. It has been a calendar year. I would love to hear people's arguments for an athlete that actually within a calendar year is the "it's so over, we're so back" meme more than Jorge Martin, because there's no one it could be.
No.
There is no one it could be.
And
I say that as a Marc Marquez fan.
And a Dan Rick fan.
I love a beaten dog is my point, I guess.
Love to bet on losing dogs.
Except not Jorge Martin.
No, he's just a dog.
He's just a dog. The nicest thing I could say about Jorge Martin is he does have that dog in him.
Yeah, a dog at the veterinarian.
A dog going to Starbucks for his last day.
No.
Okay, jokes aside. The update on Jorge Martin is that over the winter holiday, sources suggest December, that he went under for secret update surgeries.
Secret plan to fight inflation.
How did you know I've been watching The West Wing for 36 hours straight? How did you know?
Did somebody pop in and tell the anesthesiologist, you will be the 15th person to know this information? The president has MS. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the first season of The West Wing.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen's dad has MS on the show.
How dare you call Martin Sheen?
I'm just
Charlie
saying most
Sheen's
people don't
dad.
know who he is.
I think people know Martin Sheen.
I feel like if someone was like, who's Martin Sheen? You'd be like, the two things you would say are the president in The West Wing and Charlie Sheen's dad. You already had the first one covered. I actually, earlier today, when I got home from work, I started What Kind of a Day It Has Been, which is the season 1 finale. No, please. I'm about to cry for 2 hours after this.
That was my son.
Okay, wow. West Wing tangent aside. Jorge Martin did go back for 2 secret surgeries in December. One on his hand to, I think, make some updates on his scaphoid, which is that little bone that is apparently incredibly hard to heal. Wow, who would have thought? And the other was apparently more intense, circle back on his collarbone.
They followed up on the collarbone. They touched base on the collarbone.
Yes. It was a reconnect. They sent over a Teams meeting.
There was an agenda.
There was an agenda. And a bill code, if you needed one. So, he's absolutely not coming to at least the first round of testing. And if I'm putting money on things, I might put money on the fact that he's not making it to the second round. Which, here's the thing. It's I'm does it even really matter? Except it does.
Should Jorge Martin retire? I have seen the future.
No, I've seen this film before.
Let's just say history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes.
Right.
You know?
Totally.
Either, Jorge Martin, you carry Madame Zeroni up the mountain real quick, or you retire.
And honestly, you have your window of pulling a Nico Rosberg is closing quickly, really quick. Because like you could theoretically be like, I got it and I'm good. And also my body doesn't work.
That's why Nico Rosberg got so much plastic surgery.
Listen, love him for that. Here's the thing though. He will absolutely miss first round of testing. And then there's second round of testing in Burram. And then they go racing. So there's not a ton of time to like get up to speed after basically having been off for most of a year.
And what happened in Burram last year?
So he did have a really bad accident in Burram last year.
Just to kick things off.
Just to, like, throw that into the mix.
Remember last episode when I said I think we'll still end up doing the Jorge Martin for 2 minutes at the top of the pod every pod, and you were like, oh, so your predictions are coming in strong. And I was like, maybe so.
Well, and I texted you about this when we first found out this news. I said, to give you something else to chew on, Jorge Martin still might not be fit to compete. And you said, stop. Oh my God. Boy, is pissing me off. Anyways, we do have some launches to talk about.
Let's get into it.
So we have one launch. That's kind of two. And it's KTM and Tech 3. Listen, I do think Tech 3 is fun. I don't know if that's what it actually is.
Where are we getting Trois from?
It's like a French, Tech 3 is like a French brand.
Okay. Tech 3 KTM.
This is what people call it. I'm telling you, this is not, I know they're probably fuck-ass British people, but this is what people call it. They had their kind of launch situation. I don't really have that much to say about it because it's boring as fuck. Like, they do the same shit every single year. There's nothing interesting to talk about them from a visual perspective ever. At these launches for KTM, there have been so many rumors kind of flying around about Pedro Costa, and we'll talk through some of them, but he basically refused to talk about his 2027 contract and just kind of was like, I don't want to talk about that at all. He did say that everything he's felt with the new bike so far feels like a completely new bike, as if they left 2025 and built this new bike from scratch, which, based on what I know about KTM, is a little scary.
Yeah.
But could be really good.
Sounds a little Ferrari-esque, it must be said.
Honestly, yeah. I see that.
Trackhouse launched.
I thought they just did their digital thing.
Their bikes are there. They're running 2 different liveries. So they're running one Trackhouse livery and then eyes on the Gulf livery, which I love.
Oh, I think only some of the time, though.
Oh, damn. Love the Gulf livery. Love the Gulf leathers.
I like them.
I know last year we were really upset that they got rid of the Americana camp, but I think that the lime green has really like
Valentino Rossi shaking in his boots, lime green done well. I like it.
I like it. They were in North Carolina, I presume.
They were in Milan.
What's the point in having an American team if you launch in Milan?
Well, I mean, I imagine if their factory is based over there, because they're an Aprilia team.
Right. That makes sense.
And they don't have a lot of money.
That's true.
So.
Not since Mr. Worldwide left.
Okay, so we kind of covered the launches. We still have a few more to go.
Who's left?
We haven't had Grazzini. Those are the only ones I really care about that we haven't had.
Oh, I guess the Hondas. Has Honda launched?
Mm-mm.
So it's Honda and LCR Honda. So there's a few more.
Yeah. Because I think we've had 6 so far. And what's left is Grazzini, the Honda teams, and the Yamaha teams.
Except not Prima Pribeck. They launched.
Oh, then someone else didn't. Whatever.
Couple
admin things. Furman Aldeguer, speaking of, Furman's femur is rocked.
Fucked.
So he has confirmed that he will probably miss all of testing. They're like, there's no way we're going to get him on a bike before the first race of the year. So
Furman's femur's fucked for a fortnight.
I'm not responding to that.
And for a fortnight there, Furman's femur was fucked. And he will miss testing. Tug on my sweater. And now you're in my backyard, turned into good neighbor. Your wife loves flowers. My name is Furman.
What's the next line?
That's the end of the chorus.
No, isn't the whole bit about I want to kill her?
I subbed that for My Name is Furman.
Oh, lame.
I know.
One other thing that I thought was interesting from the last couple of days is that Pecco and Mark they both crashed at some recent couple of track days.
You're telling me that Mark crashed at a recent little track day?
Yes.
And water is wet.
Right. Yes. And they basically were also kind of testing out the new restart procedures. And they both are totally fine with it. They both think that For safety reasons, it's like a great choice. Mark specifically said like the way it's written is really great because it's incredibly clear, like the binary. If the engine's off, the engine's off. If the engine's on, you can do whatever you want. Like he appreciates that clarity. However, they both agree that this will probably lead to more injuries. We saw this with Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo wasn't able to like take his hands off of the wheel when he crashed. And that's part of the problem, that the wheel yanked him and broke his wrist.
His hand.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Because the safest thing to do in that situation is to take your hands off of the wheel. With the bike, it is like a bike specific setting is to just let go of the bike. Because that's a huge piece of machinery that we've seen with Mark. The way Mark originally broke his arm is the bike hit him. He was cartwheeling through the air, the bike hit his upper arm. They're fucking heavy. So you let go of the bike so the bike doesn't injure you while you are actively crashing out. Their point is, if you basically have to stay with the bike as much as possible to make sure the engine keeps running, the only way to really do that is to stay with the bike as you're crashing. That's going to lead to more injuries, is their point.
People are going to try and hang on. I also imagine, too, that they want to be as close to the bike as possible in case the bike does keep running the engine.
Yes.
Again, last week I said I thought that maybe there was like a time element where it's like a 5-second rule, 10-second rule, where maybe if you get launched, you have time to run over. And if it's not on, you can turn it back on. But I don't know. That seems like something's going to play out and we're going to have to see.
Yeah. And I think Mark's point was really interesting is he was just like, it's a really clear rule. Like there's nothing, it is what it is. It's also most likely going to lead to like some kind of other changes in like the anti-stall tech on the actual bike to make sure it can run a little bit longer if it's sitting on its side. So to your point, it looks like some things will kind of have to shift for that. I put a new category in here for this year, and it's called contract commentary.
Oh, because it's silly season.
It's silly season all year, baby. All year. And the first thing we need to talk about is Pedro Acosta.
Okay.
I mentioned it earlier, but there have been, for the last like 6 to 8 months, rumors flying about his contract for next year. We know that at the beginning of last year, he apparently was making some serious moves to try and leave for Ducati immediately because he was that unhappy with KTM, which, you know what, fair. In his position, I would consider doing that too because it was bad. So there's always been a lot of discussion. I've kind of talked about this where I'm like, I think it'd be really funny to see him in Gresini with Furman.
Beef.
A lot of people have talked about, you know, there's a real chance, especially based on recent comments from Davide and Gigi Dall'Igna, that the Ducati factory seat could be open by midway this year.
Midway this year?
I mean, if Pecco can't get his shit together.
Woof.
They said they'd prefer to take their time.
That's crazy.
So, you know, that theoretically could happen. The latest, or kind of the most persistent rumor about Pedro going to Ducati is him going to VR46. So we don't know exactly how that would happen, and we don't really know for sure how that would happen with Digia and Frankie. But that rumor is essentially like running fast and furious all around the paddock right now. That doesn't exist.
I would imagine that Vale would choose Frankie over Digia in a heartbeat.
Well, the problem with that is that Frankie kind of sucked last year.
He got some podiums.
Yeah, but like not really towards the end at all.
Yeah, but did Digia?
Yes.
I guess he got a few, but not towards the beginning.
Toward the end, he was a lot stronger.
So you got a real Alex Carlos situation.
But again, theoretically, we'll see how it plays out this year. Digia is contracted by Big D Ducati. Frankie is contracted by VR46. So
little D.
Sure.
Ducati. Well, and then who's to say what happens with Alex Marquez?
I don't think Alex Marquez is going anywhere. I know we've talked about this. We'll keep talking about it.
We'll keep talking about it.
One other thing on Pedro, though. Pit Buyer, who is the KTM motorsport director, admitted out loud at their launch that they haven't done enough yet for Pedro to re-sign. And I'm like, well, we've all been saying it. At least you can also say it.
At least we're all in agreement.
Pedro, for a long time, like during the launch, was like, I'm not talking about this. And then he didn't proceeded to talk about it, saying, I have enough problems to see what's going on in Malaysia preseason testing before I'll talk about like my 27 contract. It's kind of similar to what Mark said about Ducati, where it's like 9/10 of the way there to his contract. He was like, all I have to do is get on the bike and see how it goes.
I guess.
But Pedro's is like negative, I guess.
He's starting from sub-zero.
Truly. The last thing I want to mention about contract commentary is Fabio Quartararo,
Mm-hmm.
was also asked about like his 27 plans. And among a few other things, he said, I want to look out for myself, for my personal future and goals.
Okay, eat, pray, love.
Truly. He said, I am going to eat, pray, love my way through 2026. And it's all about me this year.
The year of Fabio.
The year of me.
Love it.
So things are tense. Things are tense.
I think that this contract silly season is going to be real fun.
Oh, I'm excited. It's going to be messy.
And we love mess.
If there's one thing about us,
We love mess.
we love mess. Last thing about MotoGP is I don't think we're getting a full 5 episodes of There Can Only Be One.
Oh.
We don't know for sure because they don't fucking tell us anything.
No.
I don't think we're getting it.
Do you think it's like a truncated season, or are they going to spread them out like they've been doing with like the little Jorge doc?
I think that's what we're getting instead, because they just the other day, I haven't watched it yet, but they dropped a Fabio Quartararo one.
About what?
I haven't watched
His
it.
pearls? The girl with the pearl necklace?
Truly. So they've done one for Jorge Martin, Marc Marquez, Fabio Quartararo. My guess is they'll do Pecco as well.
The 3 big names of the 2025 season. You've got Jorge Martin,
Who didn't race any of it.
Marc Marquez,
Who won it.
and then Fabio Quartararo.
Who had those streaks of poles.
He was there.
And then nothing the whole season.
And then nothing.
He was on one podium.
Do they draw names out of hats for who gets these episodes?
Well, if we're drawing comparisons, they're all champions. So
I guess, yeah.
Then the rest of the people on the grid that would get a mini-sode are Pecco Bagnaia and Joan Mir. So where's my Joan Mir mini-sode?
Show me the mirror.
Hashtag more Mir.
More mirror. That's your real mirepoix.
I'm gonna dice up Joan Mir and put him in a stew.
If there's one thing you need about Zoe, she is always on that mirepoix game.
I am. I have so much food freeze. Ready to go.
If Zoe's texting me, it's about her going to Trader Joe's to make mirepoix.
Oh, any grocery store. I'm like, please, someone give me carrots.
Please, I need the carrots.
But I'm kind of sad about it, because it's I understand. Again, I don't really know for sure if that's how it's going to go, because I like watching the progression of the season through a couple of episodes. I like that, because then you get little mini kind of looks into multiple different moments. And thus far in the minisodes, I don't really feel like you get a lot of that.
Maybe they are just recutting the material because they need to give it some breathing room before they launch something better and more Drive to Survive-esque.
I doubt it.
We can hope.
You have more faith in them than I do.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll be watching the Fabio one, and I guess I'll watch the Mir one when it drops.
Drop the mirror.
But my guess is it'll be Pecco and Bez.
No mirror?
No.
Sad.
Because you could also make the argument that it's top. Well, it's you can make the argument that it's top 5 in the championship, because then it's Alex and Pedro too.
And Fabio is not top 5.
I know. So what is their criteria for this?
I'm telling you, they're pulling them out of hats.
Which, I thought when the Jorge one dropped, I was like, oh, this is interesting, because he's not going to be in.
You thought it was cast off footage because they couldn't complete the Jorge Martin arc of There Can Only Be One.
Right. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it more, maybe this too is connected to when they did the 10-year anniversary of Sepang thing that was ultimately pointless and toothless.
Yeah, nothing burger.
So I'm maybe this is just their new strategy of constantly putting out content, which I'm I don't know if that's.
I mean, it's smarter strategy, but less entertaining.
Yeah. But the problem is that none of this is really new.
Yeah.
The Jorge stuff was new, but the Mark stuff was not new.
Yeah, it's hard to put out a retrospective in such long cycles.
Well, I think the thing too is when you're doing a retrospective of a full year, that's a very different thing than saying, okay, we're following Mark for this 6 race run in which he can win the championship. Because that's when his episode would have been.
Right. So a more Drive to Survive-esque.
You were watching in this 35-minute episode.
That's the Alpine show.
Right.
This is the Ferrari show.
And it's like a very brief window of that full year. So you get kind of
Right.
like, it's like a deeper cut of that brief window as opposed to like a shallow of the whole year.
But it is still a continuous look throughout the year, which I think is one thing that DTS does very well, is that they manage to maintain the overarching storyline of the season of following the whole grid throughout the year with doing the pop-ins to each individual team that they do look at.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm going to be sad if we don't get their Can Only Be One. I like it. But
well,
we'll talk about it next week.
Speaking of Drive to Survive and There Can Only Be One, let's swing on over to the great wide world of motorsports. We got some launches this week. Notably, we got Ferrari's car that was built in the dark and driven in the light. And, my thoughts about this is they sure did put a lot of white on that car.
They really did. It's giving Marlboro in like a weird copy paste.
But it's like in a less fun and sexy way.
Obviously. There's no cancer stick vibe.
Well, and the thing is that I think is so stupid too is that they now have a vape sponsor from Marlboro, from Philip Morris. Like they have a Philip Morris International vape brand on their car. And it's like, can we just have cunt again?
Also, like, I don't understand, like from a rules perspective, would
Vaping,
that not, it's a tobacco product.
It's not. It's a nicotine product. It's not a tobacco product.
Right. But wouldn't that, so are the rules based on tobacco products?
I think the rules did not explicitly ban vaping or nicotine pouches.
Well, because my question then is like, are the rules based on tobacco? Because tobacco is the thing that's like...
I think that the rules as they currently exist likely were based on tobacco, yes. Because I don't think that you could do like cigars either.
Yeah. Well, then the question is, can you put weed on the cars?
This is the question that we should be asking.
Get me a weed car in F1 now.
What team gets the weed car?
It's obviously Haas.
You're so right.
They need the money.
So right. They need them. They need the money. I could also see it being Cadillac.
Yeah, but they do it in a weird, grimy way.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Speaking of Cadillac, did you see that Kit Kat is back in Formula One?
Yes. First of all, Kit Kat is back in Formula One via Checo.
Of course.
But yes, also, yes.
Kit Kat is back in a big way.
Get the fuck out.
Anyways, okay. Ferrari.
I think it's fine.
Less white, please.
Well, if they built it in the dark, it needed to be white so they could see it.
So true. So true.
I figured it out.
Absolutely. Anything else about Ferrari? Is there any light in Lewis Hamilton's eyes that you can see?
So here's the thing. I was reading some comments they were making at the Shakedown, and I was like, at their launch kind of thing. And I was like, you guys, there's light in your eyes, and I'm scared for you.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Do you remember that photo of Lewis in his last like preseason testing with Mercedes where he's like sitting in the car? It was like the day before the Ferrari news dropped and he looked so miserable.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing those photos, but they do exist.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's miserable right now. I think he's in that brief window of time post-vacation before work gets annoying. And he's like, we're back, baby. Everyone's energized. Everyone's excited. And I think it's going to come crashing down.
He was doing a lot of, you're doing amazing, sweetie.
Yeah.
When Charles was on track.
Yeah.
I liked.
Very cute.
His braids, impeccable.
Always.
They look great.
We also got the Alpine launch this week.
We did indeed.
And they launched on a cruise ship.
You know what goes hand in hand? Cars and cruise ships.
Here's the thing, though. They kind of do.
Do they?
Yeah, there's always like on a cruise ship, there's always like a car like elevated in a ballroom or something. Yeah.
What kind of cruises have you been on?
Nice ones, I guess.
I guess. There was that car on the Titanic that they had sex in.
I'm telling you, cars on cruise ships.
Model Ford.
They are
identical to last year.
Pretty much, yeah. Sticking with the pink and blue. I like it. I like the pink and blue. I think it's fun.
Pink and blue. A little less carbon fiber, I think.
Yeah. I think they went a little more into the color this year, which is nice. A lot of teams did.
That seems to be the trend.
They are feeling excited because they paused most of their development in 2025, like on the car in 2025 to focus on 2026. So they're feeling good about that.
Okay.
And I think here's the big thing. This is the first year in a very long time that there's no Renault engine on the grid.
I forgot about this. Yes. The collapse of the French automotive industry.
They're running a Mercedes engine. And if rumors are true, which is that Mercedes has found some kind of loophole,
then there could be actually competition this year?
they could actually not be all the way back at the grid, which could be fun. Because as we know, Colapinto does have that dog in him.
He does have that dog in it.
So I would like to see. And then the last thing, this isn't really a launch, but we got a lot of digital renders of the new Mercedes for 2026. They are officially launching on Monday, February 2nd. And we also got some, I think, renders of McLaren. But most of that, I think, is because these teams haven't had official launches before the shakedown started earlier this week.
McLaren did do a all black livery for testing, and you don't deserve all black.
You don't deserve to be sexy in any way.
That's so true.
And Oscar Piastri, love of my life, can't be sexy if you tried.
No. McLaren very much gives me Ohio girl who just moved to New York City 2 weeks ago and got rid of every color in her wardrobe for black turtlenecks and will move back to Ohio in about 3 weeks.
So we will have, I think, a couple more launches after Shakedown, so starting early next week. But let's talk Shakedown, because there are some things that have happened.
Some things have been shaken down.
The shakes are down.
The shakes are shaking.
The shakes came down.
You think you fell out of a coconut tree? Williams.
I miss her.
I miss her. Queen, come back to us.
Oh, don't. We don't.
True.
We don't
deserve her. Yeah.
So Williams has completely bailed on Shakedown entirely. Williams said, we're not shaking down. We're actually solidifying up.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. And what makes it even worse is that James Vowels, for the past 3 years,
With his big throbbing brain.
has been saying every chance he gets, we are solely focusing on 2026. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We are not developing the car in 24, 25. We are solely focusing on 2026. This is our once-in-a-lifetime chance to get the new regulations right. And you mean to tell me that they are 30 pounds overweight and have failed the FIA crash test thrice?
Not even twice.
Thrice. 3 times. Trois.
Tech trois.
It's just like...
It's kind of diabolical.
What
is happening in the House of Williams?
Like, what pagan burial ground did you build your factory on top of?
Who hired the best Etsy witch in the world? And
Nicholas
can I get her
Latifi?
number? Can I get her number?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
No, truly, Williams and Jorge Martin are like, it's so over, we're so back.
And it's
So over.
so over.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
And until you just said it, I totally forgot that he's been talking about this for years.
He's been talking about it for years. The only thing he talks about more than ignoring everything to get the 2026 regulations correct is that fuck-ass Excel sheet that he got rid of.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say, maybe the Excel sheet wasn't the problem.
30 pounds overweight implies that Excel sheet maybe was doing okay. Get that car some GLP-1 stat.
This is a sport where like 30 grams overweight is an issue.
Well, what was it? Like 0.25 of a millimeter was like the defining thing that disqualified the McLarens. Thank you.
Shut up. 30 pounds? That's a toddler.
No, I was like, that's not a baby. That's a chunky toddler.
Yeah.
It's a big
That's a
boned
Max
toddler.
Verstappen baby.
That's an orb.
That's a Max Verstappen baby.
Jesus.
So,
yeah, that's really bad. And then Alex had to go on Instagram after being like, I'm engaged, to be like, sorry, my team sucks ass right now.
the video of him in, I think, 2022 during testing when he was on with the F1 commentary team and Latifi's brakes caught fire has been going around recently. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah,
A balm to the soul.
I agree.
Where does Williams go from here?
Down. I on it, like, jokes, I don't even know where they go from here. Like, this is really bad.
How do you get rid of 30 pounds? Is there a bowling ball you've forgotten about in the car somewhere?
Yeah, what's in that car?
What is in the car?
Are there like 20 wrenches? Is there a person?
Is there a child in the car?
Did someone use that car as like a burial ground for half a person?
That's crazy.
Is Hannibal Lecter running around England?
It's crazy to me. What did they steal from the British Museum that the British Museum stole from the world that is in that car?
No, like, honestly, maybe it is like an Ocean's 11 type, like.
They're hiding. Remember that jewel that was stolen off of like a Ferrari or Jaguar or something at Monaco?
Yeah.
That gem is now in the Williams.
I'm Googling. Okay, Google says it was lost, not stolen.
Okay. Do you think Fernando Alonso was behind that as well?
Mark Webber was there.
That's how he got Oscar out of Alpine.
It was to promote Ocean's 12.
Of course it was.
And he was with the Jaguar team, so it was...
Pre-Red Bull. Proto-Red Bull.
It was Christian Klein and Mark Webber, and they both drove it around. And I think Klein lost it off the car.
It was Mark Webber, and that's how he got Oscar Piastri out of Alpine.
On the first lap, Klein hit a barrier at Lowe's hairpin and lightly damaged the front end of his car. He emerged from the crash unscathed and retired from the race, but the diamond was gone, never to be seen again.
Do we have eyes on Flavio?
The team's spokesman, who was heavily involved in the Ocean's 12 sponsorship, later said, "At that point, I should have been worried about the car or the driver, but I must admit, my immediate thought was the diamond."
I would be worried about the diamond too.
Some have suggested the diamond flew off before the impact of the crash. After all, it was reportedly only stuck on the car with glue.
I just think if you're going to stick a diamond to the front of your F1 car.
And for the race, like, not even just a session. This was the race.
It should be a little more than glued down. Like, you're not even in, like, prongs, like on a ring.
Some theorize that the real diamond was never even on the car. And this is an Ocean's 8 kind of situation. And Jaguar switched it out for a replica at the last minute, though spokespeople denied that theory.
This is the foundation of Red Bull racing.
Honestly, it makes so much sense.
Yes.
That makes so much sense.
You know how Braun was the $1 team? Red Bull's the one diamond team. One love, one diamond.
All is well that ends well, however, as Jaguar got exactly what it wanted from the stunt. Publicity.
What does Steven Soderbergh have to say?
The story made international news for weeks afterwards, and though 2004 marked Jaguar's last year at F1, the team was purchased by Red Bull, who would go on to become one of the sport's winningest teams.
Okay.
That's crazy. Okay, other shakedown quick hits. Aston Martin and McLaren both delayed their days. So there are 5 days for the shakedown. Teams can, I think, choose which 3 of the 5 days they want to run. So there were a good amount of teams that started on day 1, and then a bunch of teams will just kind of pick up where they want. Aston Martin and McLaren both delayed their shakedown for the last couple of days, specifically citing like development reasons. So that's interesting. This will also be the first time that Adrian Newey's car will be on the grid in a few years because he's been on gardening leave.
I guess, yeah.
Right? I don't think he like had an impact on the car.
I think he had less
year.
impact on the car last year. I think he was like nominal impact. I think he was doing hypercar shit for them.
Oh, that actually would make more sense.
I think that he like really wanted to explore making a hypercar, and they're like, go off, King.
Just come back in for 26.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing another Newey car back. And then Audi and Ferrari both had technical issues at one point. It was at Silverstone. Yeah. So it was super rainy. And then Hajar crashed out.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Which was a little sad. But it's shakedown. It's not a session. We'll let it go.
And what can be said about a shakedown is that it is a shakedown.
And I think he did something like 50 laps. So
they had like really efficient testing before it happened.
Yeah, so we'll take it. Not much else going on in F1 this week. So we'll just keep an eye out on new launches and the rest of Shakedown.
There is more things we need to talk about in the Great Wide World of Motorsport.
There is. There's 2 big things. One is that as much as I love to make jokes about Valentino Rossi being unemployed, I can't make that joke anymore.
He is employed.
He's employed. So he's leaving WEC. We've known that for a couple of months now. But recently, he started teasing some stuff with BMW. BMW started teasing some stuff. And so he has signed another contract with them because he was with BMW in WEC. Another 3-year contract, and he is shifting to support BMW in the GT World Challenge Europe series.
Okay.
Which is another endurance series, but is a little bit smaller and is based solely in Europe. He has said this is his choice. He specifically wanted to stay closer to home and just race solely in Europe. He has 2 little girls under the age of 5.
Very cute.
So he kind of was like, I want to be close to home with my kids.
Yes.
Which I think is really sweet. He will also, and this is a nice segue, he will be racing the Endurance Cup at the Nürburgring. And guess who else will be there?
Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen will also be there. And this is like newer news. The issue with the Nürburgring 24 hours is that Max can make it work on his schedule, but there are like preceding sessions that you don't need to do.
But it's like suggested you do.
Right. And Max, because he's a crazy person, wants to do them.
Sure. Why not? He doesn't have anything else going on.
Except he does.
Except he is a full-time F1 racer, a new dad, and a sim racer.
And a business owner. Like he owns the team, Verstappen.com. And he's also selling his merch all the time. Opportunity to sell. So the issue is that he's wanted to do that. And Toto Wolff, among others, because he'd be driving a Mercedes at the Nürburgring, has been lobbying heavily to get that league to shift their schedule. This is hilarious to me because it's a totally separate like racing series and it's kind of like elite in its own way.
Yeah, he's throwing some weight around for a thing that he's got no weight in.
Right. And I just like love it because they, by all accounts, were so unbelievably happy to have Max race there last year.
Yeah, it brought in so many new viewers.
Right. So we all knew it was going to happen, but it is just funny that it's like Max Verstappen barely walked in and they were like, sure, we'll just reschedule our whole thing.
Rolled out the red carpet.
Right. So the issue is those preceding sessions would have been during the same weekend as an F1 weekend, and they have updated their schedule. And I have a comment from one of the executives.
Oh.
We are shifting gears for the sport and our region to maximize international participation.
Maximize.
Right. NLS2 has been moved forward to March 21st. This adjustment leverages a gap in the F1 calendar between the Grand Prix in China and Japan by aligning with the international racing schedule of Max Verstappen. Parenthetical, obviously.
Parentheses of Max Verstappen.
We enable top-tier drivers, Max Verstappen, to compete in the NLS. And this is all for Max Verstappen.
He's crazy, dog.
Like, everybody wants that cookie. What the fuck?
And the thing is that they already have the cookie. He just wants to offer more.
Right. He's like, I have more cookie for you. Hold on.
Hold on.
Stay in line.
If you are in line for Max Verstappen's cookie, stay in line.
He's got another one.
What does that even mean?
What?
What is the proliferation of cookie? I have seen it. I saw it once, and now I've seen it 4,000 times. Is it pussy?
Yes.
Figa?
I think it originally is from like where it got really big is there's a picture of a Starbucks cake pop that's in the shape of a cat, and it's like side-eyeing like something like the way the eyes are iced. They're like side-eyeing really hard, and someone tweeted it years ago and was like, he wants that motherfucking cookie.
What is... Okay. I'm not hip with the youths, it must be said.
Oh, excuse me, it was a bumblebee, but it looks like a cat.
Okay. It does look like a cat. He does want that cookie.
And that is the NLS looking at Max Verstappen.
It's Max Verstappen looking at the NLS.
No, Max Verstappen said, hey, I'm here. And they were like, please.
True. Okay. Last thing that we need to talk about, we're switching from Europe to America. We talked about this a lot last year.
And I love a consistent, cohesive campaign.
Love a campaign that is good. IndyCar on Fox has once again come out of the gate
swinging
with I assume their Super Bowl commercials.
Yes.
Because that's what they ended up being last year, were for the Super Bowl to promote IndyCar on Fox. We haven't gotten the third, which I assume is going to be Alex Palou.
Yeah, definitely.
But we have gotten, much like last year, Joseph Newgarden and Pato O'Ward.
And they're so funny.
They're so good. What we said about this last year, and I don't know if it ever actually made it into the pod, I think it did very briefly, but what's so great about these commercials is it invites the viewer to engage with like the lore and the character that these three top drivers portray in a way that F1 has really managed to capitalize on in terms of like Drive to Survive. And they're doing it in a way that is so fresh and fun and good and like also engaging with each other.
Yeah.
Like there's this moment in Joseph Newgarden's where it's like he ripped a man's heart out on live TV and it shows Pato O'Ward crying after coming in second at the Indy 500.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he did do that.
It's so good. It's so good.
I love when things are like successfully self-referential.
And good. And like, and now Pato's
just so funny.
Pato is driving a garbage truck to the fucking Dropkick Murphys around like a neighborhood.
Yeah, like a series of cul-de-sacs.
They continue the groupie line from last year, which I love.
Yeah.
And they've got a MILF who like stands up like it's Talladega, like, woo! It's so good. And he looks so hot in it.
Yeah. I might have said this when we talked about it last, but I think it's in addition to everything you've said, because I totally agree. In addition to everything you've said, what I think is so fun about it is that I think as like an American, if you watch any sort of cable TV in the last 10 years, you know what it's referencing. And it's referencing the Ford F-150 commercials. Like it's a 1-to-1. The voice and the tone and the cadence and the way they talk, it is an F-150 script.
I agree with you. It must be said there are hints of Old Spice.
Yeah, I think like the humor in it. Totally.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is also very familiar. Like that kind of like deadpan, tongue-in-cheek, like I know and you know and we both know that we know.
Two of the most successful ad campaigns of the 2010s.
Yes. I just think it's so funny that it's like, you watch it and you're like, I feel like I am also in some way like watching a Ford F-150 commercial. And I think it's really smart.
When you're watching it, it invites you to be in on the joke.
Yes. Absolutely. Which is what all good marketing does.
I'm so excited to see the Alex Palou one. Alex Palou was ordered to pay $12 million to McLaren.
Oh, poor kid.
Oh, yeah.
Start shilling crypto. That's all I got to say. We all know.
Listen,
we'll engage, but we all know what you're trying to do.
At least you don't have to wear that fuck-ass papaya.
Well, and like, I wouldn't want to be like disrespected by McLaren, even if I did have to pay $12 million.
I would take the L happily in that situation.
We're not lawyers. That's all I'll say.
That brings us to the grid as ... which for the uninitiated is a moment in our podcast where we categorize a handful of riders and drivers from across the great wide world of motorsport as a person, place, thing, concept, idea. And in honor of Tu B'Shavat, which is the Jewish New Year for trees, or also all of the trees on Earth's birthday, depending on how you want to look at it.
Is this like how they do the thoroughbreds?
Yes.
Sick. Love it.
Which, what is it? They all turn a year older on January 1st or something. Yeah, it's very similar to that. The predecessor, if you will. We are going to do the grid as types of trees. Would you like to go first?
First things first, I will say that Pecco Bagnaia is the Quercus suber tree, which, if you've seen it, it's from the Mediterranean. And so when you're in Rome or in like a lot of places in Italy, there are these weird like scraggly trees that have this like kind of, they shape them weird. And it's just like synonymous with like Italy to me. That's Pecco because he's weird and scraggly and can't grow a beard like any at all. Frankie, this is a low-hanging fruit. Frankie is the Brazil nut tree. Love him down.
Brazilian.
Exactly. I don't know why, but Marco Bezzecchi is a Joshua tree. Like it's like a yucca type tree.
I think I just had a memory.
Yeah.
I think that we did in honor of the McLaren wood planks.
Did we do trees before?
We did types of wood. And I think you said Bez was a Joshua tree.
And I stand by it.
I mean, I don't see why we can't do it again, is all I'm saying.
Well, types of wood is very different than trees.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
And I stand by it.
I believe I said Pecco was the wood that was on the cross.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly.
That feels right. That feels right. I have two more because it's just fun.
It is. It is. The grid as is fun.
Obviously, Lando Norris is the papaya tree.
Do papayas grow on trees?
Yes.
Okay.
It is a tree with a single palm-like trunk.
A frond. He seems like a frond guy.
Yeah. Oh, actually, now I'm reading about this. It's a plant that is often mistaken for a tree. So I think that works even better.
I think it stands. I think it stands.
And then my last one is, if you're in the States and you've been watching the news at all, you know that it's been very cold in a lot of places. And it has been so cold in places that people are saying that some trees might explode. And Marc Marquez is an exploding tree.
I think he's Schrodinger's exploding tree.
Even better.
I think that he is cracking ominously.
Yes.
But not exploding.
Right. Perfect.
My turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with the MotoGP one. I think the VR46 Academy is the Pando quaking aspen colony.
Yeah.
That are all one clone of they're all the same male tree.
Yeah.
But it's a forest.
Yeah.
And they're all interconnected. Trees are fucking weird, bro.
I've seen that Avatar episode.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think I also said this for Fernando during wood, but
he's petrified wood.
It was petrified wood.
Yeah.
It was petrified wood. I was going to say he is General Sherman, the sequoia.
I know. Yeah. Still works.
Still works. Still works. And then I'm going to say one more. I think Jack Doohan is a driftwood tree.
Yeah, because they recently let him go, even as a reserve driver.
And he's floating. He's just, do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
He said, yeah, I feel like driftwood. Oh, Jack. Anyways, sorry to end on a downer.
Wow. Let's think of one more that's really good.
Valentino Rossi is a black locust tree.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those. Can I change mine? Fernando Alonso is a ginkgo.
Oh, because he's samurai tattoo.
Samurai and also older than dirt.
Yes. Magnolia.
But a ginkgo.
Yeah. Lance Stroll, sugar maple.
100%. 100% maple tree. Tap that.
Stop. We got it.
Anyways, that is the episode. Make sure to like, share, rate, review, subscribe, to comment on, engage with any and all of the above on the podcast to help us grow. We really appreciate it. We love reading your comments. They make us really happy.
Sorry for all the West Wing this episode.
I'm not.
Yeah, I take it back. I'm never sorry for the West Wing.
And then come hang out with us on Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok. And let's keep chatting soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.